Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a bit of maths, and very simple maths. Well, if you have attended a class in maths, I'm sure you must have come across or heard something about Bodmas, right? So it will not sound unfamiliar or strange to you. So these are really 6th grade maths, I think. Also, I don't remember when I did last, how long ago was that, when I did Bodmas. So Bodmas, in simple terms, means is a rule actually to calculate the expression in brackets first. Yeah. So the Bodmas means actually brackets of this order, this division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So maybe if you don't know the spelling of Bodmas, I'm gonna write it for you and show you what Bodmas is. It's called Bodmas. It's actually an acronym. I don't know whether that English is familiar to you also. Acronym means you can say it in full. What this means in full is brackets, order, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay, so you start from the left to the right when you are doing these expressions in order of priority, which comes first. Like in this case, bracket comes first, then we have order. Like there's another one called Bodmas, means parenthesis, exponent, division, multiplication, additions, but now I want us to, that is actually a synonym of Bodmas. Okay, in some regions of the world they use Bodmas, like in other regions also they use Bodmas. So those who use this will know what they are using. Sorry. So yeah, so in other words, we have things, what I mean, we have also brackets out of what comes first in brackets. We have like parentheses comes first, then we have curly brace. I'll show you this thing. I am not good in, then we have square brackets as the last one. In terms of priority, this comes first, parentheses. This is a curly brace comes second, square bracket comes third. So in order of priority, you will give priority first to parentheses, then after parentheses you come to curly brackets, then you come to square brackets as the last, as you calculate from the left to the right. So having said that, we're going to do some examples to illustrate what all this is about. So we can give yourself various examples. For example, solve. Okay, this I'm going to wrap it off. Okay, solve. Now let's solve an example. This, I'm giving you an example, and the example is to solve or calculate, as you might say, 1/2 plus 1/2, okay, is equals to 1/2 plus 1/2 of, say, 12. 1/2 plus 1/2 of 12. You solve this. So if you know anything about how to add fractions, this is a fractional expression. You have to find the least common denominator. In this case it's 2. So we have like 1/2 plus 1/2. It's actually 1. Anyway, let me write it down. 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 1, because the least common denominator here is 2. 2 goes to 2 once, plus 2 goes to 2, 1. That's 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 over 2 is equal to 1. Because you're actually dividing. If you have some maths, you know what this means. You're dividing. So, if you are saying 1, so we want to be 1 over 16. That means it is 16. Right? If you multiply 1 times 16 or 12, it will be 12. So let's give ourselves another better example. I want to change one value here, this one, to 3. Or let me change it to 8, for example. Right? So we're going to find the least common denominator of this. That will be 8, right? Because both of these will go to 8. So 2 goes to 8 4 times. 4 times 1. Let me write it down. I hope I'm not confusing you. This is very simple maths, actually 6th grade maths. So we have 8. We've found the least common denominator here. Here 8. We'll divide these things. So 2 goes to 8 how many times? 4. So 4 plus 8 goes to 8 once plus 1. This is 5 over 8. This will be the result. We add these things together. 1/2 plus this. Okay. Am I right? The least common denominator is 8. So 2 goes to 8 means 8 divided by 2 is 4. It goes 4 times, and you have to multiply times the numerator. So that will be 4, and 8 goes to 8 once. If you divide 8 divided by 8, it will be 1. Times the numerator, it will be 1. So it will be 1, 4 plus 1, which is 5 over 8, which is the denominator. And that is the value I've given you there. Okay. Now, if you are doing this of 12, it means you're going to do 5 over 8 times 12. Times 12 of 12 means times 12. Now, this way you can work it any way. Like 2 goes to 1 minute, I'll show you. 6, 4, 3, 2. That's 15 over 2 was 7.5 as a solution. So, right, you see what I've done here? After finding this to 5 over 8 of 12 means times 12 here. This is a fractional thing. So 5 over 8 times 12. What will be that be? Okay, let's do one thing. What is 12 times 5? 12 times 5, 10 0, the one it will be 60. 12 times 5, it will be 60. You see what I'm doing? I'm multiplying 5 times 12, I get 60 divided by 8. You multiply that, divide by this, or you can directly divide this, and then you do this, like cancel this to 6. 2 divided by 12 is 6, 2 divided by this is 4, 2 divided by 6 is 3, 2 divided by this is 2, and then you can multiply this over that. But if you can't, you don't see that, then if you directly multiply this times this, it will give you 60, and 60 over 8. So we do the same thing. 30 over 4, 30 over 4, 15 over 2. Yeah, you can reduce it further. Let me show you something here. Let me clean everything. So we got 5 over 8 times 12 is equal to 60 over 8. You see, I arrived at this. If you multiply this, it will give you 60 over this there. So now 60 divided by this will be 7.5. 7.5 means 7.5 this times 8. Let's see. That's 40, 0 is 4, 49, no. This is 56 plus 4, 60, right? Yeah, if you multiply this times 8, it will give you 60. So we divide that one down, and the answer we'll get will be 7.5 as a solution. Actually, I don't like fraction coming in, 7.5, which is similarly written as 7.5. You want to convert this, so you can write it like this or like that. It makes no difference. So another case, let's take another one, very clear example without fractions. I'm going to give you a half plus 1/4, for example, of let's say 32. Let's see what this works down to. Okay, here you are finding the least common denominator of these two. 2 and 4 is 4. 2 goes to 4 2 times, 2 times that is 2, plus 4 goes to 4 once, that will be 5. Okay, let's see. I have to calculate it so that you see. Over 4, this common denominator is 4. 2 goes to 2 plus 1 is equal to 3/4. My writing is not so good. Actually, I have to do this because I'm using this board, it's not hanging on the wall, so I have to write and show you. So this I have plus 1/4, right? It will give you the result, which is 3/4 over here. You see, I've done this. I found the least common denominator. 2 goes to 2 to 4 twice. So twice times the numerator, which is 1, it will be 2, plus 4 goes to 4 once, times 1, that will be 1. So 2 plus 1 will be 3, which is that one. And the denominator is this one, common denominator. So it's 3/4 of 32, which is this value here. So we're going to find this 3/4 times 32. Okay, because we'll find this of this. So now there are two ways to go about it. One is that you can directly cancel this and this one to reduce this and that, make it less, to factor it. Otherwise you multiply this and divide by that, which is straightforward. Let's go for that. 32 times 3. I'll show you. Actually, I'm calculating first, then I'll show you. 6 be 96, right? 32 times 3. The answer is 96. The answer is 96 divided by 4. So 96 divided by 4. 96 divided by 4. 96 divided by 4 will be what? So you can just cancel, try to factor it. 9 divided by 2 will be 4, 1 will be left. So this will be 4 and 8. You divide 96 times, divide by 2, it will be 48. And down here you have to divide this also. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now we have 48/2. Sorry, my goggles, my specs, I went down and saying goggles. So we have 48/2. So I'm going to wrap this one. If you are following, then that's okay. So now we have 48 divided by 2. That's 48. My writing is not so good. 48 divided by 2. This, now we have reached this stage, and what's the result is 24. 48 divided by 2 is 24. Even without calculating, you can tell that, because how we got that is that 2 will go to 4 2 times, then 2 will go to 8 4 times, and this will be the answer. to this thing. Alright, and so those are the steps involved. So you can factor this thing, or you can directly multiply and then divide as you like, whichever way you prefer to do it. Actually, another way, if I want to make it very clear, I did that. Let's reduce that to 16. Let me make it a bit less. 1/4, and then off 16, like this. I'll reduce 32 to 16. Okay, so let's see what happens. You already calculated this. We got 3/4, so it will be 3/4 times 16. I'm putting 1 for convenience here, because then you can clearly see what's going on. So what you're doing is that you can multiply directly, or you can divide this and multiply, which I prefer. Let me remove this one because I think it's causing confusion. So you're finding 3/3 of 16. 3/4 of 16. You know, 4/4. If you put 4/4 times 16, it will be 16, because 4/4 is 1, and 1 times 16 will be 16. But if you are putting 3/4 of 16, means 3/4 of 16, then you're gonna multiply times 16, right? So let's do that. So I'm gonna do direct multiplication. 16 times 3, 16. 3 times 16, right? So this times this will be 18 with 1. It will be 48 over 4, right? 18, 1, yeah, 48 over 4. And then I think you are seeing what I'm doing. 48 over 4 and divide by 48 over 4 divided by 4. So this goes to 8 2 times. It's a very simple math. This goes to 8, 2 times, goes here. How many times? Sorry, 4 goes to 4 1 times. I'm confusing. 4 goes to 4 1 time, and then it goes to 8 2 times. So 48 divided by 4, it will give you this answer. It's just 12. And you multiply 12 times 4, it will give you 48, because you're dividing 48 over 4. Another way you write this is Bodmas we're doing, my dear. Another way, I just leave it like that. I think I'll confuse you. So we can give yourself various examples, like maybe anything, to just calculate to solve. That's one way you use Bodmas. There another way I want to show you, and I think I'll spend a lot of time there. So another way, let's have a value like, for example, 16 plus 8 minus let's have not 8, let's have 10 here. I'm just writing figures from my head. Minus 2 times 3, for example. Okay, let's have something like this. I'm trying to demonstrate to you how Bodmas works. This is how Bodmas works. Brackets of division, brackets order, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. That's called Bodmas. You work it from the left to the right. So when I give you an expression like this, you work it from here. That it depends. First you have to give these brackets. Bodmas B's, it means brackets. So you give brackets the first priority. So you're going to calculate what is inside here, and when you come inside here, you also give priority, because we have Bodmas, means multiplication comes first before subtraction. Subtraction is actually last. So Bodmas, S stands for subtraction, is the last thing. So here you're going to multiply this. This will give you 6. Then we'll have I'll show you in a minute. minus 6. We'll have something like this, because we gave priority first to that, then come here. So we have 10 minus 6, and then we have 16 plus 4. Now this is the third stage, and then here you can see exactly, I mean 10 minus this, you know, is 4. Now the brackets disappear for the first time, all of it disappear. Now we have plain expression here, which we have 16 plus 4, this will give you 20 as the answer. You see how it works, Bodmas? Yeah, you give brackets priority, first priority. Let me see if you are right. Yeah, I think that's exactly good. Now you can give yourself various example and calculate by changing these values inside here. For example, this 10, you can put 8 here minus this, or change this value, but use the same procedure to solve, to get practice. Okay, yeah, I hope it's clear. Now I'm giving something which is a bit more complicated, and in this, let me write it first. 1200 divided by, let me write it at the last point because my board is small. Divide by square brackets. I could have anything like 10, for example. Sorry, I'm starting to get, yeah guys, let me take water. The throat gets dry when you're talking. Energy, you know, as well. So this is a this is a curly brace. I'm gonna give you curly brace here, and parentheses give you something like 12 minus 4, whatever, 4, and plus, oh, now I see the problem with my board is becoming small. Now plus, I will show you in a minute, 24 minus 12. Yeah, we have the curly brace, and then we have the square brackets. Yeah guys, because the board is small, I had to extend it down here. This is the same expression extended, so we have 1200 divided by this in brackets up to that point. So follow me as I solve this. So what do you think will be the first priority here? We're gonna give the brackets the first priority, and then we also have priority in brackets, parentheses first, curly brace second, and square bracket third. So we're gonna give parentheses first priority in brackets. Okay, parentheses, you know what it is, the simple, I showed you before. This is parentheses, so we're gonna give this a priority, and let me see, and this one, and this one, this and that over there. So let's see, 12 minus 4. So let's come down. We have 1200 divided by, we have square bracket. I'm gonna show you, don't worry, just be happy. And we're gonna have 8 plus 12. Okay, square brackets. So you see what I've done, I've eliminated parentheses because I saw for parentheses as a first priority in the order of brackets. So now the second priority is curly brace. This is curly brackets, which is now here. You can see this is curly brackets. So we're gonna solve curly brackets, which is 8 plus 12. 8 plus 12. So we're gonna have 1200 divided by yeah, we have the square bracket, that would be 10 10 into, now actually it's like times, I think we're gonna do away with this. because once we solve the curly brace, then the curly brace will go, and we have just direct, it means 20. So something like this, you know, because this will disappear after we have done the addition. We got in 20, so it means this has gone. Now we have only the square brackets, which is this one, times this times that one. Okay, so once we times this will be 200, right? 10 times 20 is 200. So I'm running out of space. I'm gonna clean up here where I started from, and we continue. Just let's continue with the maths. So we have 1200 divided by 1200 divided by 10 times this is 200. Now this is a final, because now also the square bracket will disappear, which is the last priority. So we have 1200 divided by 200, just like that. Then let me do it the way I like to do it, and maybe you also like that one. Very good style to do these maths, you know. So I put it like this. You see what I've done? Now you know these. I know you know this. Unless you are very poor in maths, you know what that is. You're gonna count the zeros first. Zeros have gone, so we have only 12 divided by 2. So if you divide this, it will give you 6. It will give you 6 as the final answer, because you are dividing 1200 divided by 1200 divided by 200, right? So if you want to prove whether you are right, you can prove it by doing this. Take 200 times 6. Okay, you want to prove that you are right. 200 times 6 is what? Okay, the way I like to do it, takes zeros to 6 times 2. This will be 1200. 1200. Actually, it's common sense. You can do it from your head. That means 200 times 6. All right. What is the answer? 200 times 6. 0012. Yeah. So you see how this was a bit complex, because first of all we had to solve for order of brackets. What we give priority first is the brackets. Then we solved for parentheses first. Then we came to curly brace second. Then we went to square bracket third, and then we are good to go. The final one we calculated. So we can find several other examples you can give yourself. For example, you can give yourself like 10, like maybe I gave you 1200, you can give yourself like 1500 divided by the same stuff that I gave you, or 1800 or 2000, whatever you want to give yourself. But the bottom line is that you have to know how this bracket work. That's what is important, is to learn how to use the brackets. So you're gonna find various expressions, many different types of problem to solve. What is important is to learn the expression. Let me write something like, for example, what we did, 1200. But I've forgotten what we did. Let me write anything. And divide by 10, for example. And the curly brace, parentheses, write like 10 divided by, minus 4, for example. That's parentheses, plus, and we continue like 20 minus 12 into curly brackets and square brackets. Yeah, I'm not calculating this, I'm just showing you what we did. The first thing we did is that we gave priority to parentheses. We calculate the parentheses first. Parentheses are these symbols, these ones. So you calculate this, you see this operation, what an operator here is a plus. So once you do this, for example, 10 minus 4 is 6, 10 plus this thing here. It is an extension because the body is small. I could continue to write this expression that way, but I can't write beyond there, so I brought it down here. It's the same expression, so plus this value here. I don't know how I can show you this thing. This operator is here. This value that comes immediate after this is this value. So let me show you by arrow. This value. This. You see what I'm doing? I'm telling you what I should write here. I brought it here. So it's a continuation, and there's a plus operator. So you solve this. 20 minus this is what? 20 minus 12 is, what's the answer? Is 8. So you see, you solve for parentheses first. So if suppose you were to do this math, we'll have 1200 divided by, I will show you in a minute, but I don't think it's necessary at this stage. It's already shown you. We have 10, we have the curly brace still, now the parenthesis is going, so we have 6 plus 8, parenthesis remain and square bracket remain. So you can see this, what I'm doing. These two are, that one has gone, so we are left with this. In order of Bodmas, we first have to solve the parenthesis first, then we come to curly brackets, and come to square bracket. Now we have solved the parentheses, we are left with the curly brackets and square brackets. So we solve that as a second priority, second chance. So this plus this is what? This would be 10, 14. So let's write that. And now the curly brace is gone, so we directly have now 14. Now we have 1002, I'll show you, divided by this. So you see, we came to this stage now. This comes down, we are dividing now. You see, this is direct because now curly brace has also gone. So we are left with the square brackets. So in square brackets, we had a multiplication here. So we're going to multiply this. It will be 140. 14 times 10 is 140. Okay. So let me rub it in hand. So now we're going to have finally 1200. I didn't change anything much, divided by 140, which was the final thing that we got down there. Now we see we are going down. This is the last stage, and this you can solve it. 1200 divided by 140. That one I don't need to show you, but if you want